Hey guys, we have a lot to talk about today for Avatar: The Last Airbender in Magic: The Gathering. We're going to go over some of the different product offerings, and we're going to open some packs. So let's rip it. First things first, I want to talk about some existing product, things that have already been on the market before this set dropped. Namely, we're going to talk about deck boxes and the like. So this is the Avatar: The Last Airbender APA Squaros Omnibus Trove Box of Boxes, whatever you want to call it. This thing is ginormous, and these are actually super fun, especially if you play Commander or if you just play a lot of Magic: The Gathering. You can fit up to 800 count boxes in here, specifically other Squaros. Now, I will warn you, I have purchased one of these before, and sometimes the felt from the inside, the color of the felt, can rub off on some of the boxes. So if you have a Squaro with white corners, just be aware that might happen, okay? Now, I'm a little bit heavy-handed, and I tend to throw my stuff in my car, so maybe that was my own doing, but I just like people to have a heads up. So we have this APA box, right? And then we have all of the Squaros that go with the box. So we've got the cast and the crew. I don't think we have Toph right now because she got bought. These have been out for quite a while. And so hopefully if you're into kind of going all in on a game, going all in on Avatar, whatever, you can pick up these deck boxes, you can pick up this carrying collector's case, and they should be available for you either in your local LGS or at, Amazon, Walmart, wherever you can find them. So now that we've kind of looked at what already, now that we've looked at what already existed, we can kind of get into the new stuff. And I'm going to do an overview of a couple products, and then we will open some packs. So first things first, I wanted to help people understand the difference between these two different types of boosters, right? We acknowledge that not everybody who's going to get into Avatar has played Magic: The Gathering before, right? So these two different types of boosters are regular play boosters and Jumstart boosters. The difference is play boosters have your regular breakdown of cards as well as a token. So it's got, like, normally it'll tell you on the box, it'll say how many rares, 1 to 4 cards of rare or mythic, 3 to 5 uncommons, 6 to 9 commons, and 1 land, as well as a traditional foil of any rarity, right? So you're gonna get a foil, you're gonna likely get 1 or 2 rares. These are meant for play. These are meant to be drafted. These are meant to be opened and added to your deck. These are play boosters. Now the difference is, here we have Jumpstart boosters. In the booster, you're gonna get 20 cards that are a mixture of color-specific creatures, spells, instant sorceries, and lands. So these boosters will have lands in them. And the idea is you open up 2 Jumpstart boosters, you shuffle them together, and you can play a 40-card deck with your friends. So if you're getting into the game, if you're learning how to play Magic: The Gathering, I would recommend going and picking up some Jumpstart boosters. Open 2 packs, shuffle up, and play with your friends. It's a really low stress, low bar to entry. Obviously, your best way to enter is going to be to go to a pre-release and choose from the many pre-release kits available, play in the event, and kind of get your exposure that way. But if you can't make it to a pre-release, this is a really great second option. And then, again, these are intended for drafting, they're intended for play, but this is also the standard way that you're gonna get your booster packs. Aside from these 2 product offerings, there also is a collector booster pack. Collector booster packs are juicy. You're getting way more rares, and it's mostly foils. If you are a collector, if you're not planning on playing the game, if you're just chasing the rares and looking for cash, these are going to be what you want. Also, as a collector item, these are going to run out. They don't reprint these. Both of these will get reprinted. These will not be reprinted. And so they're going to be hard to come by in the future. The value of these boxes and these packs are going to go up, and they will likely be more difficult to get. So if you're a collector who likes shiny, various artworks, this is what you're looking for. We're going to open some boosters in another video. This video, we're mainly going to focus on these 2 items here, the Commander Bundle and the traditional bundle. Before I get into that, there's 2 other products I wanted to touch on, and that is the beginner box for Avatar and the Scene box. So these are 2 additional products that you may see on shelves, you may see on Amazon, they may have lower price points, and you might not understand exactly what they are. So in this box, you're gonna get 2 play decks, 2 guides, 2 playmats, I believe, and then 8 Jumpstart packs, right? So it's gonna look something like this, right? It's gonna teach you how to play the game. There's little booklets, there's pre-made decks, there's dice, there's tokens, and there are these black standard playmats with the zones, okay? If you have not played the game before, this is also a really good entry point. They only do these every once in a while. They don't sell these with every single set. So if you're looking to get someone a Christmas present or a birthday present who has never played the game before, I would recommend this beginner box. If they can't make it to a pre-release, get the beginner box. If you can't make it to a pre-release and you can't get one of these, you can at least get a couple Jumpstart packs, shuffle up and play, okay? Last but not least, we have the Scene box. Again, people will see these on Amazon, they'll see them out there on the internet, they won't know exactly what they are. It's very, very simple. You're gonna get 6 cards and 3 boosters, as well as a display easel. So here we can see the panoramic image that those 6 cards will make. We have Mei and Zuko, Aang and Katara, Toph, the greatest earthbender, Sokka and Suki, Momo's Heist, and Uncle's Musics, okay? So you get these 6 beautiful, let's see if I can get them closer up on there, these 6 beautiful traditional foil cards that do make a panoramic scene, and you'll get 3 regular play boosters, but they also come with this easel. I don't know if you can see this here. It's a little trifold easel that you can stick the cards on. Some people get confused because they see this picture, open the box, and it's like this. There's gaps and there's spaces. So these are fun. Again, if you're a collector, if you're all about collecting just the fancy cards and having beautiful art and having the story played out, this is a good way to go. You're not gonna get anything crazy. You're gonna get these 6 cards and 3 regular packs, okay? Now that we've gone over that, we can get into these 2 bundle boxes, all right? Now this bundle box is a traditional bundle. We've gone over this before, okay? We've talked about these before. Again, you're gonna get a spin down. You're gonna get 9 14 card play boosters. You're gonna get this beautiful box, a traditional foil Momo, and a bunch of full art lands, foil and non-foil. This is your regular bundle, like we opened for Spider-Man and all those other sets. It's just your standard bundle. Now, Magic the Gathering used to sell gift bundles. You may recall, we opened a Spider-Man gift bundle. There was a Aether Drift, they did a Finish Line bundle, right? It was like an upgraded bundle. Well, since they didn't make any Commander decks for Avatar: The Last Airbender, they've decided to create a Commander's bundle. This is what we're gonna be opening today. In this box, you're gonna get a spin down, 9 booster packs. You're gonna get all the beautiful foil and non-foil lands, a delicious box, and then there's these extra cards. We'll go over those as we open them up, as well as 1 collector booster and some more lands, okay? So this is basically the gift bundle, right? Regular bundle, gift bundle. But in addition, there are Commander staples, cards that are very common in the Commander format that they have added into this particular box, so that if you're interested in playing Commander, and if you're interested in building an Avatar: The Last Airbender Commander deck, you can get yourself some Commander cards that match the look and feel. Now, I honestly really appreciate that. So I'm gonna crack this open and we'll talk about it a little bit more. But why do I appreciate that? Well, when they dropped Bloomburrow, if you don't know, Bloomburrow was this set that they did about bunnies and rabbits and all these fun little critters. You know, there were raccoons, there were squirrels, there were like all the critters were animals, and all the animals were like the main like residents of the plane. And they put together these 4 Commander decks for Bloomburrow, and the Commander decks were really fun and they were really interesting. But there was only like 19 cards in the deck that were from the set. Everything else was just a traditional reprint. And it felt weird to me that you have this beautiful universe of squirrels and rabbits and foxes and these big scary owls and bears, but then there's like all these other random cards from traditional Magic the Gathering. So I really appreciate that they did these Commander reprints, so that if you're interested in building an Avatar: The Last Airbender only Commander deck, it's feasible with these reprints. Okay, now that I've said my little spiel, we can get into this. This does have a foil box, just like the Spider-Man one did. So we have this beautiful, beautiful foil APA box. Check that out. And inside, we will have our spin down, our packs, and our dividers. So let's get all these out. Oh, it's in there kind of tight. Get this up and out. This beautiful scene of the secret tunnel singers. This beautiful Momo divider. Honestly, I think a lot of people kind of sleep on these dividers. They're really cool. They're really, really, really pretty. We got some fatality. Fatality? Finalize? You'll bring a creature back from the graveyard. It'll get one of these, and then it gets exiled when it dies. And then we've got some +1s. So that's beautiful. We'll hold on to that. I guess we'll put this over here with this other stuff. And then in here, we have our collector booster, our play boosters, and our lands, which should have our other promos in it as well. Here is our spin down. It's got the avatar symbol on it. Pretty good, spring loaded. Not as nice as some of the metallic-y magnetic ones, but they're not bad. I've kind of come around on these. I didn't used to like them very much, but now they're not so bad. So we got our spin down, our collector booster. Here we have our lands, and I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, in here we will also have some other cards. So 1 foil land of each mana type, 1 non-full art, or 2 non-full art of each mana type, and some regular ones. Okay. Where are commander staples? Are they going to be in the... Are they going to be in here? Oh, then they're still in the box. Okay, so here's our beautiful lands. We've got Appa flying over the walls of Ba Sing Se, the frozen ship, the giant tree, the site of the final battle between Aang and the Fire Lord, and I think one of the air temples. Northern Air Temple? I don't know. I don't know my air temples, guys. So we've got all our lands, these beautiful, beautiful lands. Now let's look at our commander staple cards. I am not a massive commander player. It's not really like how I prefer to play the game. I've messed around with it and I've built some decks, but I do love a good theme, and I love when things are on theme. So we have an Arcane Signet, and it is the Avatar Toys. You tap this and add 1 mana of any color from your commander's color identity. The next one is our Soul Ring, the Airbender necklace. Tap this, you add 2 mana, cost 1 to play. For those of you who aren't familiar with Commander, we've got our Swift Boots, Aang running away in his, is that his Firebender outfit? And Entomb. Search your library for a card, put that card in your graveyard, then shuffle. And Obscuring Haze. I have not seen this one yet. This is dope. If you control Commander, you may cast this spell without paying its mana cost. Prevent all damage that would be dealt this turn by creatures your opponents control. And it's tough. And it's tough being an OG. Look at that. That is dope. That is really cool. So those are our Commander staples. That's the Commander portion of the evening. If you're wondering why it's a Commander box, that is what makes it a Commander box. Everything else in here is the regular gift bundle that Magic normally sells. So now we're going to get into the packs. Also, if you're new, you guys have probably noticed that I tend to rip packs this way. Recent sets have had a little tear corner up here. This tear corner that you can use. I don't use it that often because, as you're noticing right now, it can be a little bit dicey. So it's there if you're like, I can't get these packs open. But you don't have to use it. Okay. I'm excited, guys. I'm very excited for this set. I'm excited for these cards. I'm gonna save some of my personal stuff for after, but I have not spoiled these. I don't know anything that we're getting into. This is gonna be fun. Our token is on top. We got the Sunblessed Peak, Tigerdillo. Yeah, so there's gonna be a lot of these like really fun, like combined, Fire Lord Azula, combined animals. That's a big thing in Avatar. Okay, Fire Lord Azula. She's a legendary creature, human noble with firebending 2. So basically, whenever this creature attacks, you get to add extra mana. Whenever you cast a spell while Fire Lord Azula is attacking, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. Super fun. Very on brand for red. We'll keep that over here. Is our Tiger Diller? He's just our foil. Second one, Fire Nation Palace. Look at those. Those cards go hand in hand. That is awesome. Fire Nation Palace. This land enters tapped unless you control a basic land. Tap it to add a red, and then tap 1 a red and this. Target creature you control gains Firebending 4 until end of turn. That is nuts. That means when you attack, you get 4 floating red mana. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right, honest work. Zuko and Uncle. I can't like comment on every single card, but I am in love with the art, guys. I am in love with the art on these cards. They are thematic. They are on point. Earthbending Lesson. Lessons have returned to Magic the Gathering as a spell type. Earthbend 4. So Earthbending lets you turn your lands into creatures and then buff them up. So this would turn one of our lands into a creature with 4+1 counters. Okay, not just a power of 4, they actually are counters. And that's important because if the land doesn't die, the counters will stay. If the land does die, however, you exile it and return to the battlefield tapped. So it comes back in as a tapped land with no counters. Bananas, some bananas stuff. And we've got, Toph teaching Aang how to earthbend here. And then, no, there's no backside. These always throw me off. Normally that's where the transform icon is. But yeah, so we've got lessons. And there's gonna be cards in the set that care about lessons. So that'll be fun. I'm gonna keep my commons and my uncommons separated. Okay. This has been good so far. This is a really good start, guys. I love these cards. This is gonna be such a fun set. All right, we got our food token. The food token for a set can kind of always set the tone, right? Look at this beautiful tea. We can only assume that it is jasmine tea brewed by Uncle Iroh. Tap, sacrifice this token, gain 2 life. Wonderful. We got some more dual lands. Now these dual lands do enter tapped and they sacrifice for card draw. So that's great. First time flyer. It's a cool foil. I wonder why all of our stuff is top loaded. First time flyer, this creature gets +1 as long as there's a lesson in your graveyard. Lessons matter. All right, our rare for this pack so far is Beifong's Bounty Hunters. Whenever a non-land creature you control dies, Earthbend X, where X is that creature's power. That's pretty crazy. So basically, like you want to throw something big out there, it dies, you get an Earthbend, or if it gets killed by an instant or sorcery, man, I don't know. I guess technically, non-land creature you control dies, Earthbend X. It would become a creature with haste that's still a land. So if you were to have something die on your opponent's turn, if they were to kill one of your guys, you could create a land creature that is now available as a blocker. So that's pretty cool. And then we've got Grand. I'll come back down here for these. Grand. Last Airbender, there he is. There's the title card. One of them, not the title card. We want the multicolored Aang with the raised foil, obviously, but I don't think we'll get that in a play booster. When Aang enters, airbend up to 1 other target non-land permanent. So again, the bending mechanics in this game are really fun because they tie into the story. They tie into how the characters work within the story, right? Firebending, if you choose to attack, you get more mana, which allows you to do more attacking. Waterbending cares about having support of other creatures. Airbending pushes people away by exiling them. Earthbending literally turns the earth into creatures that you can throw at people, right? Here we have Azula Always Lies. This is some really good art. I don't know if you guys can see that. That is fantastic. Way to go, Robin Har. Way to go. Target creature gets -1 till the end of turn, or put a +1 on target creature, or do both. I don't know how often I've pulled a do both card that I didn't choose to do both. Let's be honest. When are you not going to do both? Am I right? All right. Let's see what else we get. I'm going to move these over here. So far, we've had some fun pulls. So far, so good. Alrighty. More allies. Allies have made a return in this set. Allies are a creature type that will probably matter to some cards, depending on what you're playing. We got a Plains. We got a full art Plains. And Deserter's Disciple. Deserter's Disciple. That is not a rare, but that is a good foil. Very, very beautiful foil. Where was I keeping our non-rare foils? Earthbender Ascension, another Toph card. Man, I'm going to have a hard time building a Toph deck with all these cool Toph cards. When this enchantment enters Earthbend 2, then search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Landfall, so anytime you play a land. Whenever a land you control enters, put a quest counter on this enchantment. When you do, if it has 4 or more quest counters on it, put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature you control. It gains trample till the end of turn. That's pretty cool. So basically, whenever you play the land, you're going to get 4 +1s on something, and it gets trample. If you were to Earthbend first, it could those counters can go on one of your lands that you Earthbend. The cool thing about the Earthbending is if the land doesn't die after attacking, right, it's going to return back to being, where did our enchantment go? It's going to return back to being a land. Okay, so if we look at this here, right, target land you control becomes 0/0 with haste that is still a land, put 4+1 counters on it. When it dies, it is exiled, returned to the battlefield. So I guess it's still going to be a creature. I was about to say that maybe it goes back to just being a land and those are harder to destroy, but no, it becomes a creature and it stays a creature. So that's slightly less busted because creatures are pretty easy to remove. Lands are a lot harder to remove than creatures, but still fun. Okay, so we got Earthbending Ascension and then Fatal Fissure, the Boulder, Twin Blades, Moon Spirit's Twin Blades, Earth Kingdom Soldier, Forecasting Fortune Teller, Fire Nation Cadets, Wallop Sentries, and the Cavalry, the Rhino Cavalry. Yeah, they did such a good job with this set, guys. So many good callbacks to wonderful moments of the show across the board. I'm loving it. I am loving it. Oh, you know what I just noticed? Check this out. On the pack, Aang's arrow is foil. Can you see that? So you can see that right there? His eyes and his arrow are foilized. That's actually pretty cool. That's pretty cool, guys. Sorry. Squirrels! All right, we got a mountain and razor rings for the foil. That's pretty cool. Check that out. A little waterbending stamp on there. Love it. Where's our foils? The Unagi of Kyoshi Island. 3 and 2 blue, flash, ward, waterbend 4. Whenever an opponent draws their second card each turn, you draw 2 cards. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. I like it. And South Pole Voyager. Whenever this creature or another ally you control enters, you gain 1 life. If this is the second time this ability has resolved this turn, draw a card. So again, this isn't specifically caring about allies. Oh, hey, is that the Judy's? Check it out, guys. The copy card is Judy. Doesn't specifically care about allies, but it does care about going wide. All right. The staff, the glider staff. Ooh, true ancestry. This is cool. It's a cool lesson. Return up to 1 target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. Create a clue token. That's cool. I like it. It'll quench ya. It's so good, guys. This set is so good. This is so fun. Controller, counter target spell unless the controller pays 2. Like, super classic card, but the fact that they made it a lesson gives it a little more juice. And the fact that they referenced that cactus scene is fantastic. Wandering Musicians. There they are from our divider. Another lesson, the origin of metal bending. Choose 1. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Put a +1 counter on target creature you control. It gains indestructible until the end of turn. Very cool. Very, very, very cool. Boomy Bash, Kyoshi Battle fan. Loving it. Loving it. Love the lessons. You guys know I normally make a couple of decks for the sets that I get really into. I ended up making 5 decks for Spider-Man. Completely out of only Spider-Man cards. They actually play super well and are super fun. And I don't know if I should do 4 decks for this or if I should just do 2 really good ones or make a commander. I don't know, guys. The Mechanist, Aerial Artisan. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a clue token. Till the end of turn, target artifact token you control becomes a 3/1 construct. That's pretty dope. That has good implications outside of Avatar, though, too. Just being able to turn your tokens into constructs, that's pretty good. And with the Edge of Eternities, there's cards that will untap your cards. Some really good creatures that when they get tapped, you untap something else. So you could play that and untap this guy and do it for a second time. Love that. Mechanist. Energy bending. Land you control gain all basic land types until the end of turn. That's so cool, man. That's so cool. It is going to cost you 2, but you also get to draw a card. It's kind of a win-win. War Balloon. Oh, we got double vehicles, guys. So vehicles are in this set. If you've played Aether Drift, or if you got into Thunder Junction, or I think Edge of Eternities mostly has the spacecrafts, but vehicles, you can tap your creatures to crew them, and then they basically become creatures. White Lotus Reinforcements, Zuko's Exile, Zhongyong's Deserters, Zhongyong's Deserters. And then we got a couple of Canyon Crawler, Watery Grasp, Pillar Launch. Target creature gets +2/+2 and gains reach. Abandon Attachments. 1 and a blue or a red. You may discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards. Man, so far so good. I am stoked for pre-release. This is really getting me hyped for pre-release, guys. This is going to be a fun set. So if you don't know about the pre-release, basically you get to pick a pre-release kit based on one of the elements, right? There's 5 different pre-release kits, and you can pick a pre-release kit based on the elements, and there'll be a little booster pack in there that will like kind of give you cards of that element to help with your deck building process. They did this back during New Capenna, where you would pick your crime family, and there's cards in there that help with that archetype. So I'm really excited for that. I think I'm gonna pick Earthbending. I might only get to play in 2 pre-releases though. I was gonna do like air, earth, and water, but if I only get to do 2, I might just double down on earth to get the earth cards. We got ourselves one of what is his name? The Heartthrob that Katara falls for in the woods, who ends up being kind of a dick. What is his name? Jet. It's like one of Jet's homies hanging out up there in the trees. Unless it is Jet himself. He's got this spear, but Jet has like the hook things, right? I don't think it's Jet himself. Glider Staff is our foil. Look at that cheesy grin. Look at that dopey, derpy little boy. I love him to death. So it's an artifact. You can equip it for 2 and a white to play it. When it enters, airbend up to 1 target creature. So you exile it. When it's exiled, its owner may cast it again for 2. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has flying. Anything that gives flying is always good. Fated Firepower. All right. X and 3 red. Let's get this up here. Flash. Flash? Uh-oh. This enchantment enters with X fire counters on it. If a source you control would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much damage plus an additional amount of damage equal to the number of fire counters on this enchantment instead. Yo! Talk about a mythic card. Holy cow. So instead of just doubling the damage, which is what cards like this tend to do, it's going to do the damage plus however many counters are on this. Now, there are cards in the game that can duplicate or create more counters after a card's been played. But like, let's say you do 3, even 3. You play this for 6 mana. Every single, let's see here, whenever a permanent an opponent controls. So anytime a source, that can be instants, sorceries, that can be lands, that can be anything. A source you control would deal damage, it's gonna deal that +3 or 5 or however much you pay for the card. Insanity. Insanity. Bitter work. I love these top cards. Look at this. Look at the moment. They did such a good job capturing the expressions of this show. Whenever you attack a player with 1 or more creatures with power 4 or greater, draw a card. Exhaust. You guys may recognize that ability from Aether Drift. So you can do this once, and that's it, right? When you do an exhaust ability, once you do it, it's done. Which it doesn't tell us down here because it's giving us the definition of Earthbend. But, and also it says you can only exhaust it on your turn. Interesting. Maybe that's how normal exhaust works. It's been a while since I played exhaust cards. Love me the tough cards, though. Ooh, sagas, guys, sagas. So when this comes in, you put a saga counter on it, and then every turn it'll tick down. This is the story of the Cave of Two Lovers, which is the story of Omashu, if you don't know. So basically, create 2/1/1 white ally creatures, search your library for a mountain or a cave, reveal it, put it in your hand, and then Earthbend 3. That is so good. That is so thematic. Golly, man, that is fun. And I like that we got those back to back. Katara, anime prodigy. Check her out. She's waterbending. Here we go. Here's waterbending for you guys. So waterbend, you pay 6, draw a card. While paying the waterbending cost, you can tap your artifacts and or creatures to help. Each one pays for 1. So essentially it's kind of like affinity. It's kind of like affinity, or what's the one? Affinity is for artifacts. Can't remember what the other word is, but basically you can use your creatures or your artifacts to help you pay for stuff, right? So you can use your allies to pay for this waterbending cost. That's the idea. Or if you happen to have clues or whatever, right? And that card we had earlier that had Ward Waterbend 4. So that means if you want to target my guy, you have to tap 4 creatures or 4 artifacts. All right. Oh no, they stole Appa. Heartless act. Destroy 1 creature with no counters on it. Remove up to 3 counters from target creature. That's so sad. You could negate, guys, you could negate something that was earthbent. If someone has an earthbent land, you could remove the counters. Because Toph couldn't earthbend in the desert. Oh, man. Merchant, Dock and Shoe. There they are. Return this card from your graveyard to your hand. It's too good. It's too good. The level of detail, even on the comments, guys. Oh my gosh. If you don't know why this is funny, you need to go watch the show. Let's read the flavor on this. Also known as Doc the Ferryman, Shu the Fishermonger, Bushi the River Cleaner, depending on what job needed to be done in the Feng High Village, however you say it. It's when they're cleaning up the ocean, they take down the Firebender machinery factory or whatever. Such a wonderful use of flavor, guys. Oh my gosh. Octopus form, another lesson. Turtle duck, firebending lesson. Man, lessons are running rampant, y'all. Homie might be building a lesson deck. It just might be worth it. Alrighty. Here we go. There he is again. Look at, he came back! He came back! The Merchant of Maniacs is back again this time. He is our foil. Oh my gosh. Iroh, Tea Master. So you get a food. Done. At the beginning of combat.
A few moments later.
So basically, they just get
3 hours later.
you control. So like essentially, you could steal Iroh, but then I'm gonna steal him back. Or if you steal something else, I get an ally, and I get to put a +1 on it. And then if you steal something else, I get an ally. So either I'm punishing you for stealing my stuff with my allies, or you get to steal Iroh and create an ally, and I get to steal Iroh and create an ally, and we just trade them back and forth. All right, that's different. It's a little bit different. It's kind of hard to build around, but I mean, it's something. It's something, guys. I'll take it. Team Avatar. Boomy, King of 3 Trials. Dude, Boomy's dope. I love Boomy. Fire Nation ship. Ooh, Path to Redemption. Dai Li. Glider Kids. Cycle of Renewal. Lightning Strike. Deals 3 damage to any targets. I really wish I could do like a really good Azula impression for you guys. I'm not even going to try. I'm not going to embarrass myself. I wish I could, though. That would be fun. All right, 2 packs left. 2 packs left. If I seem a little tired, it's because we opened a killer Pokemon box earlier today. That was like an impossible box. So I apologize if I'm waning a little bit. But I am stoked for these cards, and I am loving it. Foil rare! Always a killer when we get a foil in the rare, or a rare in the foil slot. Diligent Zookeeper. Each non-human creature you control gets +1 for each of its creature types. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that's going to be big in this set because Cat Armadillo. The Tigerdillo is a 2 different creature types. It's a cat and it's an armadillo. And that's going to be most of the like animals in this set are going to have multiple creature types, I would imagine. Fox spirit, there was the ducks I saw. So each non-human creature you control gets +1 for each of its creature types to a maximum of 10. So like this Tigerdillo, he's going up to +2/+2 just from this dude being on the board. That's great. That is fantastic. Toph! We got Toph, the hard-headed teacher. What's up? Dude, I love Toph. Toph's so cool. She's just a dope badass. She's awesome. When Toph enters, you may discard a card. If you do, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Beautiful. Getting a card back. Whenever you cast a lesson spell, what's up? Earthbend 1. If that spell is, whenever you cast a spell, Earthbend 1. If that spell is a lesson, put an additional +1/+1 counter on that land. Yo, we're building a Toph spell deck, guys. Toph spell deck. Maybe we'll throw Uncle Iroh in there. Maybe we'll go 3 colors. I don't know, man. I don't know. Ooh, the dancing. Fire Island dancing. It's a good story arc, the whole fire story arc. Whoa, ruinous waterbending. Miss Bloodbender here. As an additional cast to cost a spell, you may waterbend 4. All creatures get -2/-2 to the end of turn if this spell's additional cost was paid. Whenever that creature dies this turn, you gain 1 life. That is some great punishment for going wide. The White Lotus Hideout. At a mana of any color, spend this to cast a lesson or a shrine. Tap 1 and this to add 1 mana of any color. That's some interesting mana fixing. We got a cat owl. Cat owl. Earthbender soldier. And the Earth Wrestlers. Very cool. Very, very cool. Last pack, and then the collector. The collector pack. Overall, there's been really good sentiment for this set from what I've seen. Ooh, Kyoshi Village. This land enters tapped. Tap for a forest or plains. Tap 4, sacrifice this land, draw a card. The 4 is hard. The 4 cost is hard to reach. I've noticed the lands with the extra 4, that's tough. It's tough. Foil energy bending. That's pretty cool. Double foil pack. Avatar's Wrath. Choose up to 1 target creature, then airbend all other creatures. That's pretty cool. Until your next turn, your opponents can't cast spells from anywhere other than their hands. So basically, you're airbending everything away into exile that requires 2 or more, and then they just can't even play them until their next turn. Wow. That's pretty cool. It's on my next turn, but you can't play creatures in your opponent's turn unless they have flash. All right. Gather the White Lotus. Epic Downfall. Price of Freedom. Air Nomad Legacy. Farm Animals. What the? Pretending Pox Bears. Pretending Pox Bears. I remember that. That's a good time. Corrupt Court Official. Barrels of Blasting Jelly. Add 1 mana of any color. Activate it only once each turn. It's not bad. Sacrifice target artifact. Deals 5. Sacrifice this artifact. It deals 5 damage to target creature. That's not a terrible card. Not a terrible card. This almost looks like a Chocobo, guys. Almost. I know it's not. I know it's an ostrich horse, but it almost does. True Job, Freedom Fighters. Get out of here, Jet. You're a bad guy. All right, guys. That was the contents of our packs. Now, our collector booster. It's pretty juicy. The art is pretty cool. The foiling is nice. Let's hope we get something really cool. We're gonna be opening more packs in another video, so don't worry, don't sweat it. But for this one, let's see what we get. Some new food, that's cool. Some steamy curry, is that curry and rice? I can't tell. All right, here we go. Try and find a good angle for these. Spirit of Water, Revival. As an additional cost, to cast this spell, you may waterbend 6. Draw 2 cards if the spell's additional cost. Draw 7 cards if you have no maximum And you have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game? For the rest of the game? What? Draw 2 cards if the spell's additional cost was paid. Instead, shuffle your graveyard into your library. Draw 7 cards. And you have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. Exile Spirit Water Revival. What the heck? Normally you get like a... Normally they'll say create an emblem that says you have no maximum hand size for this. It's just on the card. And then you just exile it. All right. All right. What in the world? All right, here is our screenshot card, our TLE boost bonus sheet. Zuko redeemed. He is a reprint of Reese the Redeemed. Legendary creature, Elf Warrior. Zuko's not an elf, guys. Get out of here with these commander cards. Create a 1/1 green and white Elf Warrior creature token. For each creature token you control, create a token that's a copy of that creature. That one's a lot better, especially for the allies. And yeah, the elf tokens can help with allies, but I don't know. Flavor feels a little bit off on that one. Sokka, Bold Boomeranger. When Sokka enters, discard up to 2 cards, then draw that many cards. Whenever you cast an artifact or lesson spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Sokka. He's learning his lessons, guys. Boomerang does always come back. That's pretty good. So he discards. And then if you're playing some artifacts, he gets some +1s. That's fun. Oh, okay, so this is a Jumstart card, I believe. Tales of Momo, TLE, which I think is Avatar or Eternal or whatever, because the Jumpstart cards are available in the Eternal format. The spell costs 2 less to cast if a creature left the battlefield under your control this turn. Search your library and graveyard for an ally creature card. Reveal it, put it into your hand. If you search your library this way, shuffle. All right, so that's cool. If somebody's lost, you can bring them back. I like that. The Tale of Momo. Earthbender Ascension foil. Earthbender Ascension foil. Love that. Love it. Foil Forest. This is another TLE card. Bastion of Remembrance. Oh, this song, guys. This song gets me every time. When this enchantment enters, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature tokens. Whenever you create or whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain a life. Little soldier boy. Mako. So sad. All right, where am I keeping these? Down here? Another TLE card. All right, we're really getting the foiled juice on the Jumpstart cards, guys. When this creature enters, you gain 3 life. Let me put this here, this here. I'm gonna leave, we're done, I guess. Okay. Explosive Shot deals 4 damage to target creature. Professor Zai, Anthropologist. Ooh, another Saga. Oh my gosh, again with the leaves from the vine. I just started emotionally recovering from the last one, from the Bastion of Remembrance. Oh my gosh. Oh, mill 3 cards. Then create a food token. Put a +1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures you control. Draw a card if there's a legendary... Sorry, draw a card if there's a creature or lesson card in your graveyard. Man, it's too sad. It's too sad, guys. Foil Cave of Two Lovers. Foil Lost Days. Foil Lesson. And a Rhino, Rough Rhinos. And Yip Yip. Target creature you control gets +2/+2 at the end of turn. That creature, if that creature is an ally, it also gets flying till the end of turn. That is our box, guys. That is our box. That collector pack, it wasn't bad, but I don't know, man. We got a lot of those TLE Jumpstart cards. And our rares were not the most impressive rares. I mean, Spirit Water Revival is pretty good. It's pretty good, but I was hoping for better from our collector pack. Maybe we'll do better in the next video. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I loved this set. I am so stoked to play these cards. I'm so excited to put together an Avatar deck or a few Avatar decks. I know my daughter loves the show. She's going to be excited to play these cards as well. This was super fun. I love this set. I love these cards. I am stoked for the pre-release. I'm so excited to rip more, to see what else is out there. I love experiencing the cards for the first time. Remember to like and subscribe. Comment down below with what cards you are looking forward to, what cards you're trying to chase, and what bending style is your favorite. And we'll see you next time. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may have target opponent gain control of target permanent you control. When you do, create a 1/1 white ally creature token. Okay. I gotta stop. I lost it. So you get a food. Done. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may have target opponent gain control of target permanent you control. So they get to have one of my guys.